This is the Paranormal Report. Welcome to the Paranormal Report. I'm Jim Harold.
I am Dar Harold.
I thought you forgot
anything going on?
Yeah, today we're going to talk about ghosts and Bigfoot and, seriously, of course, the UFO thing. My goodness. It's on everybody's lips. It's in mainstream. Yeah, very mainstream,
It's in mainstream.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of those stories today, but that's, it's pretty mind-blowing, but, we have thoughts. So how are you doing, Dar? How are you doing?
Hey, I'm here. No, I'm doing good. I'm okay.
We have our big virtual campfire group over at virtualcampfiregroup.com. Make sure you join virtualcampfiregroup.com. And you were talking to some people over there, and we had two special requests, right?
Well, we didn't have requests, but I thought they would love to hear it. See, I posted last night about my less than stellar dinner that just came out pretty much like garbage.
You're being
it was not. I mean, the flavor was okay.
I do not. First of all, you are an excellent cook. All you have to do is look at me, and I don't complain because I don't cook. So you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. Be nice. I do not critique your food, and your food is excellent.
But I know right away.
I used to be thin, guys. I used to be thin. Well, I mean, hey, nobody bats 1,000, but you do a great job. And again,
last night was not good. So.
The proof is in the pudding. I used to be thin.
So, anyway, please. You used to be anorexic almost. No.
Yeah, I got over it.
Yikes. You were very, very thin. Very thin.
But these these ideas you had, what were these ideas?
Well, no. So I decided last night to post because you, during the dinner, started breaking out all your impressions of Donald Trump and Jerry Lewis. And then Julie mentioned Shaggy, and I happened to read her post out loud. And then you started going into Shaggy. And yeah, so I had the whole gamut.
Zoinks, Julie likes when I talk like Shaggy. Zoinks.
Yeah. Oh, brother. So that's what I was going through. A bad meal and all of Jim's impressions.
And who was it? Someone like the Jerry Lewis one?
Laura loved Jerry Lewis.
I heard that Laura was a nice lady. Hey, Laura, how are you today? Oh, I hit my head. Ouch. Pain. Help.
There we go.
All right. You'll never walk alone. Anyway.
Oh, boy.
Enough of that.
That was dinner last night. Thanks, everyone.
So, anywho, let's get on to the news at hand.
Yeah, any news?
Yes, but this is
last week.
Wait, I want to preface this, and I think you will agree.
Yes.
We are reporting this as though we were reporting it that any American president made this announcement. We would have done the same show.
We don't want it has nothing to do with the political.
We would have done the same if it had been President Obama. We would have done the same if it's President Bush. And we would have done the same if it was President Biden, President Washington, President Jefferson,
Clinton,
anybody,
anyone.
So the point is that this is not taking sides one way or the other. We're going to talk about it, and we'll probably have some positive things to say and maybe some negative things to say. So it's nothing political. So get over it. Okay.
But I want to preface too. If you are a critical thinker and you can keep an open mind, you should be able to do that with everything. You should be able to say, oh, look, these are the pros to the situation. These are the cons to a situation. These are the goods. These are the bads. Okay. Right. If you can't do that, you need to kind of step back and kind of take a look at how you analyze your information.
And all I'll say
nothing's all good and nothing's all bad.
We've literally gotten it from both sides. And chill out, folks. Okay. Yeah. Let's get on to it. Let's just get on to it.
Go.
Okay. President Donald Trump on Thursday said he will direct the Pentagon and other federal agencies to release government records related to extraterrestrial life and UFOs. Quote, based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, and unidentified flying objects, UFOs, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters, he said in a post on Truth Social. Let's hope that happens. I'm just going to say out of the gate, I'm skeptical.
I'm not holding my breath. No, because this is what's going to happen. I'm going to call it here. I'm going to be a seer now. See, here's what's going to happen. We're going to release information, and it's not going to be anything earth-shattering, and it's not going to be anything that we don't already know. And like, I think it was Clover on Virtual Campfire said, get your black Sharpies out. And I apologize if it wasn't you.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be.
Redacted.
Yes, we're not going to find anything out. We're not. I don't think anything earth-shattering is going to arise from this.
Yeah, and it started, about a week and a half earlier when Obama said, they're real, but I haven't seen them. I can't do Obama. But anyway.
Obama. Oh, nice
people are saying you can't do Obama. What is he going to do? He can't do Obama. Anyway.
He made a mistake.
No, he made a mistake. He said it was classified. He's not supposed to do that. That's not good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get him off the hook. But anyway. Real.
Brother.
I haven't seen him.
That was a little better.
You know who did a really great Obama was Jay Farrow on SNL. Fantastic.
Yes.
Loved it. And I personally love, and this is not saying pro or con about which politician I like, I love good impressions of presidents. I loved when, what's his face? Oh, God. Elf. What's his name?
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell used to do Bush too. It was awesome. Strategic.
I liked Chevy Chase falling down everywhere as
for
Gerald Ford.
Yeah. Dan Aykroyd, Jimmy Carter.
Oh.
Yeah. And Dana Carvey did Bush 1. Oh, fantastic. Phil Hartman, the late great Phil Hartman did a great Bill Clinton, that one where he was at a McDonald's. Oh, that was fantastic.
Those were great.
So I like to poke fun at both political parties because they're all full of crap.
Oh, I think we all should.
So, yeah. But anyway, the point is that, it's basically, he said,
it's supposedly happening.
Seriously, Trump's quote was, well, I don't know if they're real or not, talking about aliens. I can tell you he gave classified information, referring to Obama. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. Now, again, this is CNN.com, so it's not the Weekly World News. Not that there's anything
and you could find it everywhere. It was
yeah.
on every major CBS, News Nation. Everyone had it.
But the point is that, I think it's a good first step. I hope something happens with it. I am skeptical. I will believe it when I see it that we're giving meaningful information. Now, someone was saying, I don't know if it was Hegseth or somebody was saying some of this stuff is going to blow people's minds. I can't remember who said that.
Ooh.
Forgive me.
It would if they released that part, but they probably won't.
It might have been a congressman or something. It's getting confusing these days. But the point is that maybe there will be some revelatory information there. I just have skepticism because we were supposed to find out what was going on with all those drones. We really never found out. We're supposed to find out more about the JFK assassination. Documents were released, and it did clarify some things about Oswald's activities and made it a little more suspicious, but there wasn't the, quote, smoking gun, no pun intended. We were supposed to learn more about a lot of these things. I don't really know how much more we've learned, so I don't really know where this is going to end up. I'm not jumping for joy. I think it's a move in the right direction, but let's see the follow through. Let's see what happens.
Exactly. There you go. Like I said, I'm not holding my breath. I wish. I really do.
And apparently,
I think it would be great to have some transparency, but.
Yeah. Apparently, NASA's not convinced, right?
I know this is from the Daily Mail, but it's actually this. The NASA press secretary, Bethany Stevens, actually wrote this on X. So this is what she said. This is not Daily Mail, like sensationalizing something or whatever. And this is kind of ticked me off about NASA. So here's what she said. She said, we continue to embrace, and this is about Trump releasing the documents. We continue to embrace President Trump's open science commitment as an agency. But she added, as NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman has said, there are certainly things he's come across in the job that he can't explain, but they relate more to unnecessarily costly programs than they do to extraterrestrial life. Ha ha ha. So it's supposed to be a joke. You know what? You're the agency on space. If you can't have an open mind, I mean, we're all doomed. I don't understand this.
Well, I think I think I understand it. And I hate to say I've been right, but I've been right all along. I have felt, since the New York Times articles came out several years ago that really blew the lid off of all this, that there have been two factions in the government. One faction, Burchett, Rubio, Moskowitz, those kind of people, the Burleson, Luna, those people who are like, let's get more information out there for the American public. And I think there is a larger and probably more powerful part of the government and probably the military-industrial complex and the media and the scientific community that want it to be nothing to see here. And they just want to keep the same narrative going. You're all nuts. You're all crazy. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But the point is that they want to keep things the way they are. And it doesn't matter how much comes out. They're just going to go, la, 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 nothing here, la, 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 la,
yeah,
la,
well, this is how NASA also sugarcoated it. They said, quote, "We have fostered open science since our inception so that the public can build upon our innovations. We continue to make all NASA data publicly available and welcome public participation using our data." So their people responded on X and somebody said, "I hate to tell you this, but the stuff that's probably been hidden for the last 100 years would have been hidden from you guys too." And somebody else said, "Not all NASA data is publicly available. Hello, we know that from just 3i Atlas when they didn't want to release the information." And then they've got another veteran space engineer who's worked at NASA since 1968. And I'm old, okay, and so this is not an ageism thing, but you know what? You're kind of probably closed-minded, dude. I'm sorry, because he's saying, if anyone believes aliens have ever visited Earth, you've been seriously misled. There exists nothing today that says any alien or any alien machine has ever landed on planet Earth. If you believe otherwise, you're being misled.
So basically, everybody who has said that they've seen something, there's basically saying anybody who has seen something is either stupid, they're crazy, or they're lying.
Yes. How can you say that about somebody else's experiences? You did not have that experience, so shut up. That would be like me saying, "Oh, well, you know what? Somebody said, okay, perfect example. I saw Mother Mary the night my mom died. I don't give two hoots what anyone else says. They could say, "Oh, you're nuts," or "You might have thought you saw her. You were dreaming." But I don't care. I know what I saw. And I think it's the same with people who have experienced UFOs, UAPs. They know what they have seen. They know what they've experienced. And how dare you discount them? I just think that's so rude and so close-minded. So I'm really ranting today. I'm sorry, but
that's just okay. I mean, I think there's a lot to rant about it. I'm just saying. But anyway. Wow.
No, I just think that's close-minded. I'm sorry. Stop being so close-minded. You don't have to believe it or agree, but you don't also have to discount what other people, have gone through. I just think that's rude.
Now, it's interesting, this next story, Pete Hegseth, and I wish we could play the clip, but we can't play any clips because we'll get smacked by YouTube. But if you watch this, it's interesting because, well, here they call him Defense Secretary. I don't even know what to call him now, if he's Defense Secretary or if he's Secretary of War or if he's Secretary of War. It's like the old Raymond J. Johnson.
Again.
It's like you could call me Ray or you could call me Jay or you could call me Sonny or you could call me Ray J or you could call me Raymond J. Johnson Jr., but you don't have to call me Johnson. That's a callback. If you're old, you'll remember him. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, Bill Saluga was the name of the comedian, a great legend
of the
70s. Yes. Anyway, I bet a couple people out there actually laughed. But anyway, Pete Hegseth, two people know what the hell I'm talking about. Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War / Defense, whatever you want to call it. They said that the Pentagon is working on identifying and releasing government files related to UFOs. He seemed a little skittish talking about it, though, in the actual clip, I felt.
That was a C-SPAN interview, right?
Yeah, I don't know there was C-SPAN.
Yeah,
I know you said that. I didn't think it was, but maybe it was. We've got our people working on it right now, Hegseth said Monday when asked by a reporter if he was prepared to potentially declassify such information. I don't want to oversell how much time it will take, but we're digging in. So already he's like, well, it might take a little while. And, we can't tell you how fast this will happen. He admitted previously to not having the task, quote, on his bingo card. And when asked if he thinks aliens exist, Hegseth said, we'll see. I get to do the review and find out along with you. He knows. I mean, some people believe even the president doesn't know, but I don't believe that.
I don't believe that. I believe all the presidents have been briefed. Yeah. Don't kid yourself. How much of they tell them, I don't know, but they know.
I don't know. Now, a lot of people think this is a big distraction, from Epstein and all the other things going on and the possible upcoming attack on Iran and all of these different things and the economy or whatever.
Well, here's a question, though. But here's a question. If Obama wouldn't have said what he did, would Trump had responded? Would any of this have come out at this time? I don't know. I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't know.
I just think it's odd. I mean, President Obama, whether you are President Obama or not President Obama, is a smart man. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't strike me as someone who says many things unintentionally.
Oh, so you think it was kind of planned? I mean, he was in the speed round,
I don't know why.
Supposedly.
I don't know why. Yeah, but on a podcast, he's going to get fooled by a podcast host. I'm a podcast host. Believe me, we're not that smart. It wasn't like he was
Tyler. I forgot his name. Might take offense.
Hey,
Brian.
He didn't ask a follow-up, so the president of the United States, former president, says there's aliens. You're like, okay, what's your favorite flavor of milkshake? I mean, whatever the next question was. I mean, come on. There was really an interesting clip. Sean Spicer, the former press secretary for President Trump, I meant to share it with you. Very interesting talking about that. Talking about Obama saying it. And yeah.
Do you think do you think maybe the podcaster realized that Obama shouldn't have said that and that's why he didn't do a follow-up? Like maybe it was or maybe somebody in the background's going like this?
Yeah, that could be. But the thing is that we're not we just watched a documentary about the great Barbara Walters.
Oh my gosh, that
tremendous,
was so good.
Tremendous journalist. I mean, towards the end there, I think she kind of sloughed off her journalism stuff a little bit, but when she was doing other things. But I mean, at one point, she was a great journalist, like a Mike Wallace or somebody like that.
Gaddafi.
Could you imagine if President Obama had said to Mike Wallace or Barbara Walters or Peter Jennings or whoever that they're aliens, they would have been on that so fast. Well, Mr. President, what exactly do you mean by aliens? Have you seen they would have been, but,
I don't
whatever.
know.
I mean,
to be honest, I really don't have an
gonna,
opinion. I don't know if that was planned or not.
I don't know. If you're going to be interviewing the president, the former president, you've got to be able to pivot. I mean, I think I would have asked tougher questions. I think I would have followed up. I think I would have done a better job. And who do I know? I mean, this guy, whoever he is, has a gabillion more views than me. I don't know who he is, but I would have done a better job.
There you have it.
And Jim's I'm usually Mr. Humble. But this time
you are.
I think I would have done a better job. Anyway.
Well, I think also though you're closer to the subject, Jim. So I think
he would have never come on my show, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Right. True. Yeah. So you're closer to the subject. I still think maybe there was somebody in the background saying, he slipped. Don't follow up on this one. Like, yup. Could have happened. We don't know.
And we don't even know if it was edited, but I don't think that it was.
No, I don't think so. And I mean, he came back and backpedaled off of it. So, speaking of backpedaling.
Yeah, on this UFO thing, what do the scientists say? Because we always have to trust the scientists.
Which ones, right? Okay, so CBS News came out with this article. We asked scientists what they think we'll learn from the government's UFO files. Here's what they said. Did you ever ask one that doesn't agree, that might have some skepticism? Nah, not really. So they start with, and I love this one, Sean Kirkpatrick. I didn't know he was a scientist, but the former top government UFO investigator.
Yeah, he was or is.
Was he?
Yep.
Director of the AARO. He said, there are going to be unsatisfied people. If you're expecting to see evidence of alien life here on Earth, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to have a bunch of people, quote, bunch of people who are going to continue to cry conspiracy. They're going to say there's a cover-up. He views Mr. Trump's order as a distraction for the administration.
Yeah, I think he
I guess
does
he was
protest.
a physicist.
I think he does protest too much. I mean, the thing is that he was supposed to be the head of AARO, non-biased, trying to get to the truth in then things. And this just shows he probably was not an honest broker, and he had his viewpoint to begin with, which kind of leads or kind of backs up the idea that I think a lot of people have that AARO is kind of like Project Blue Book 2.0. It's basically Project Whitewash, and let's shut these people. Let's say we're doing something just for the sake of optics and to make it look good, but we're just trying to cover it up just in a different way. So
Correct.
If there is a cover-up, and if Kirkpatrick were a part of that cover-up, would he all of a sudden come out and say, well, you got me, guys. You got me. No, he would double down. So I'm not saying he is part of a cover-up, but if he were part of a cover-up, this is exactly what it would say. Plus, he was railing against people who are interested in UFOs, calling it a religion, the UFO religion. I could tell you, I'm intensely interested in UFOs, and I ain't gonna worship any damned alien. So you can walk and chew gum at the same time. But again,
some people can.
With these debunker types, all they want to do is paint people like us who are interested in these subjects, who are not buying the government line, as a bunch of idiots. And I'm tired of it. So anyway, continue, please.
Well, yeah, he just said the probability that extraterrestrial intelligent life is here is little to none. So I'm so happy we got somebody open-minded in the AARO that was doing their job, but it's just like what you spoke to. They spoke to Federica Bianco on the NASA study team. She was part of NASA's independent team studying unidentified anomalous phenomena. As a scientist and a member of the NASA UAP panel, I haven't seen anything that indicates that we have observed phenomena that violates the laws of physics and requires an alien society visiting us to be explained. All right, going on to everyone's favorite astrophysicist, Neil deGrasse Tyson, who spoke out of both sides of his mouth during this article. He said, if an actual alien, if one is presented, then no documents are necessary at all. He said the files may help illuminate that most people who look at the sky are unfamiliar with optical, climatic, and astronomical phenomena. When that's the case, a person is prone to report mysterious and unidentified objects. The urge to have immediate answers drives many people to explain what they see as visiting space aliens from across the galaxy. I call this aliens of our ignorance. Mm-hmm. Ooh, thank you. Thank you so much. Why? How about maybe you're the ignorant one? Okay, but anyway.
Well, it's, you know what? You talk about religion. It's going against their religion.
That's
their
right.
religion. They're dogmatic like any religious fundamentalist. And if you stray outside of that set of beliefs, you are verboten. You are the great infidel. And you are to be cast out. So in other words, these scientists, they have their religion too. Their religion is science. Science knows everything, and anything outside of religion, whether we talk about people having a soul, whether we talk about things like telepathy, which recent research is telling us that there may be very well something to telepathy, some Princeton work that's been done, which we'll probably do on a future show and talk about. But the point is that anything outside their little milieu that they agree with, you are the great infidel, you are the great sinner, and you are to be cast out. So they're just as religious as we are.
Well, this is where he talks out of both sides of his mouth. So he just said, you're aliens of ignorance, you don't know what you're looking at when you get your phone out in the sky. Then he goes on to say the implicit assumption is that the government somehow has access to visiting aliens that no one else in the world with a smartphone has, and that the government has successfully kept it a secret among hundreds and possibly thousands of people. All the while forgetting Benjamin Franklin's edict, 3 people can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead.
But they haven't kept it a secret.
You
What
just
about the
told me that whatever I
whistleblowers?
saw is crap because I'm not smart, because I didn't go to school to be an astrophysicist like you. I don't know what I'm seeing. So I'm stupid, but yet, if it existed, why don't hundreds of you people have it on your phones? We do. People have it on their phones.
Not only
you
that,
are discounting it.
These whistleblowers that come out, Grush or Fravor who saw it, or the other people who saw it flying, and the Nimitz people and all of that, they're all lying. Those don't count. Oh, somebody would come out. They come out. Oh, they're lying, or they're unreliable, or it's the planet Venus.
I don't know if they're so unreliable and so horrible, and they were such liars. Why did you hire them to be in your military?
It's a catch-22. It's a catch-22. There's no evidence, and you bring forth testimony from credible people. Oh, that doesn't count. There is no evidence, and nothing you're going to submit to us, short of an alien body, is not evidence. So it's.
But wait, and I got to go to this last one. He says, in science, skepticism is foundational to our profession. But you're not being skeptic. You're just being closed-minded. You're not even opening up to the possibility that it could exist. Maybe you all don't have the knowledge and intelligence enough. Knowledge and intelligence or technology or anything to determine what's out there. Why are you so presumptuous to think that you know and have all the information? You don't. I'm sorry. I get really annoyed with people who think they're like above and beyond everybody else. You're not. I'm sorry. You're just not. Anyway, the article goes on, and every other person says the same thing. No, no, no. And then they got Avi Loeb, and Avi Loeb says, he says that orb that they showed off the coast of Yemen, he said that was not anomalous. It was a drone. So they even got him saying. And it might be. I mean, the thing is that. Not everything. Like you've always said, Jim, it's not everything.
Right. I mean, sometimes the skeptics are right.
Doesn't it just take one?
Right.
How can you just discount all of it? Like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, right? I mean, like you can't just discount everything. You can't.
Yep. True.
You just can't. That's with everything in life. Come on, people.
That's true. Oh. You know that saying, I have too much of a coincidence to be a coincidence?
Yes.
Well, the next story, I think, falls under that. Yeah. So we talk all the time about John Greenwald and the great work he does with the Black Vault. And he basically sends out these FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Acts, and requests, and he asks the government for files on different things, and a lot of it is UFO oriented. And he's done a great job. And I think I was just reading a couple weeks ago, he was talking about it. He's been doing this since his teen years, I believe.
Wow.
Well, get this. On February 20th, this is dailymail.co.uk, but I also saw John talking about it on X.
Yes, it's on X.
His main server was reportedly wiped clean on February 20th, deleting hundreds of gigabytes worth of files on UFOs, declassified CIA projects, and major conspiracies, including the assassination of JFK. And basically, server directories had their permissions, the safeguards on who can access or edit them, and file ownership logs changed without explanation.
Without explanation. Yeah,
without
I'm sure
explanation.
He did that.
Yeah, and he said he did not fully suspect foul play, but noted that he couldn't rule out the possibility because of the suspicious information he'd received from his hosting provider. John said they had no idea what happened, and on their side they said it was a deletion, not corruption. So they couldn't explain it. Now he went on to say he thought it might have been some odd-timed server maintenance done by the hosting provider that went awry. He said they didn't catch it, and when I did, they didn't take blame, and there was no way to fully prove what happened and by whom. Could I be wrong? Yes. Could it have been foul play? I can't rule it out. Think about it. I mean, how often does that kind of thing happen? I mean, usually these hosting companies have backups of backups. Now, luckily, John, apparently it sounds like he had offsite backups. So he was able to restore things, I think, in a matter of hours. But that sounds like the actions of a state actor or a very sophisticated hacker, to me.
That's what it sounds like. Yep. I appreciate he's keeping an open mind, saying it could be that, but it could also be so. But it's so funny when.
Well, the thing is I do say about the internet, it's a miracle any of it works, because it's so many like castles built on clouds, It's like there's so many failure points. We've even seen it with our own uploading and things. We've had all kinds of things trying to upload stuff. And it's like we've literally wasted like a day and a half sometimes trying to upload something. So we know what it's like. The internet is not reliable infrastructure. We just saw a service that we use. They just went down unexpectedly. And YouTube, what was it last week? The whole country or world or something went up for a couple hours.
I was like, wait, where's my YouTube?
I mean, when you're dealing with the internet, let's put it this way. You better hope it works because there's never a guarantee. In fact, when we were growing up, the old-fashioned phone lines were far more reliable. They'd always worked. It could storm. It could do anything. The electricity could go out. It worked.
Yep, and you had your phone.
But this stuff is all, I love the internet. It allows me to do my job, but it's not reliable. It's not reliable. So it could have just been, one of those things, just a coincidence, or it could have been too much of a coincidence to be a coincidence.
Ooh, a wise man just said that. Yeah. Yep. There you go.
Well,
not to be left out, Psychology Today wanted to get in on this UFO thing. And so their stance is, how is that going to make people feel? What is your psychological reaction?
That's actually a fair question. That's a fair question.
It is a fair question because, and they're right. They're saying some people are going to feel anxiety and be overwhelmed. Some are going to be distrustful. Some will feel like, wow. Some might be disbelief. Some might be apathetic. Kind of like what I asked the one day, like, who cares? I still have to pay my bills, right? So, I mean, you're going to get a gamut of like reactions to this. And that's all normal, really. I mean, they're saying how people will respond have a lot to do with how credible they perceive the information to be. See, there's my distrust because, I mean, you don't know. They tell you what they want you to hear. I mean, everybody does that. You could read 40 articles about the same topic and you would get a different slant or bent on every one of them. So, whatever. But they're saying when officials communicate accurately and transparently with consistent messaging, the trust increases. How one determines that, I don't know, but whatever. They're saying it's, the disclosure will almost certainly increase uncertainty. That's what they're saying.
Right.
And it may trigger, because what it's going to do is challenge your reality. That's what they're saying. And when that happens, you might have like ontological shock. So like a profound disorientation that occurs when someone's framework for reality is disrupted. That's a direct definition. So I don't know. I don't know. Just myself. Well, I tend to believe there's stuff out there. I know there's stuff out there they just don't know about. Maybe some they do know about.
Right.
So I don't know if it will shock me. I think more shocking would be if it actually comes out.
Right.
That's where my shock would come from.
I wanted to say one last word about this UFO thing, and then we've got a couple of other stories. But, one thing that makes me think that this is not going to turn out well and we're not going to get good information. I don't believe, now I could be wrong. I did not watch the State of the Union. By the way, folks, I haven't watched State of the Union since I think the 9/11 State of the Union because
I don't think I've ever watched it.
The reason I haven't watched it is both sides irritate me, so I'm going to make both sides mad. When Congress people are yelling at the president and telling them they lie, and then on the other side, they're ripping up things in back of the president. Both things I think were highly disrespectful from both sides, so you can both get mad at me. So I don't watch it anymore because it's just, whoever the president in power is, the one side's going to cheer, whether they say something good or bad, and whether the president says he's going to boo, whether they say something good or bad. So I'm just like, you know what? You can all go,
I don't want to hear all of your hot wind from all of
both
you.
Both sides. Because basically it's like a debating society.
It is.
If the president is from party A, the other side's going to say B. And vice versa. Even when the president on either side, and both sides have good ideas and both sides have bad ideas.
They do.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the merits of the idea. It's whether you're on my team or not. So I don't even bother with it. So there's what I think. But anyway, the fact he didn't mention it, and if I'm wrong, I apologize, but I did try to check. I didn't see.
We'd kind of check. I just did a quick perusal and I didn't see anything.
If it were really important to the president, would he have mentioned it? I don't know. Anyway.
Maybe he did. So you guys let us know if we missed something. We don't watch those. We haven't watched those in many, many years. So.
Well, there is a theory. Dr. David Clark out there, he is a lecturer at Sheffield Hallam University, and this is from the Daily Mail. And he spent years researching official UFO documents. He says this is all a cover-up for spycraft. He says the real conspiracy is not that the aliens have visited. It's that the U.S. Air Force have been pushing these stories for decades because it's a useful cover for all their nefarious activities. So he's basically saying that it's all just a hall of mirrors. It's a psyop. And basically they're feeding I've read elsewhere other people saying they feed officers these false reports that we have alien technology as a psychological operation, a psyop. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying, could this be a psyop? Could it be a psyop to the psyop? I mean, when you start dealing with three-letter agencies and intelligence agencies, it becomes a hall of mirrors. So is what Dr. Clark's saying true? It could be true and false at the same time. It's like Schrödinger's cat. Mm-hmm. I mean, it could be true that sometimes, I believe this, sometimes stories are seeded out there about, quote, UFOs and its secret military projects. I believe it is used to obfuscate sometimes. And then sometimes I think that the same military uses that kind of chatter to discredit real, quote, UFO sightings. But we tend to be binary, kind of like what I was saying about the politicians. It's either black or white. And it's like, no, there are a million shades of gray, and a lot of this stuff falls into it. Is some of it military experimentation? Absolutely. Is some of it to obfuscate operations against, quote, the enemy? Absolutely. Is some of it stuff we don't know what it is and can't explain and might be from another world? I say absolutely to that. So that's a problem on both sides of this. Everybody wants it black and white, and it ain't black and white.
Does Dr. Clark, is he only focused on the United States? Because I would like to know, and I'd like to ask him, so what are all the other countries that have UAP, UFO? That's also military everywhere around the world?
He has, I mean, being from Britain, he has tried to get files, or he has used freedom of information legislation to compel the British government to release its files on UFOs, including the Rendlesham Forest incident, which is basically Britain's Roswell.
Okay.
So,
all right,
again,
but let's move on. What about Russia?
Well, that's true. That's right.
What about all the other countries that have reports? Oh, right. No.
Brazil?
Only happens in the U.S.
What's Brazil
what about
covering
Brazil?
up?
Yeah, what's their military covering
Actually,
up?
I believe that, I saw this on X, I believe that a official from Brazil who may be running for their leadership position has said that if the U.S. comes out with his files and he comes to power, he will come out with the Brazilian files. I don't know if he was secretary.
That's curious too. If our country comes out with it, will other countries follow suit?
Yeah.
That should be very, very interesting. That I'll wait. But then they might come out with the same redacted garbage.
I don't think
I don't know.
Vladimir Putin would come out with anything. That guy's bad news.
Let's not even go there with that one.
I think we can all agree on that, hopefully.
I'll refrain from my real thoughts. Well, we're gonna switch gears from the UFO thing for just 1 minute. Actually, this article is kind of tangent to it too. So there's a renowned psychic, Craig Hamilton Parker. They're calling him the new Nostradamus. Okay, This is from the Mirror, but this actually saw this article other places too. But he's given a series of predictions for the coming years, and it's not good. They call him the prophet of doom. He claims to have predicted COVID-19 and the death of the Queen, which, I mean...
Well, the death of the Queen, I mean...
But you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
I could have predicted that.
I mean, what the heck, right? I mean, I don't know. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got a bunch of revelations about predicting, and he shared 5 of them for 2026. So apparently he uses Nadi readings to inform his readings. It's an ancient Indian system of palm leaf astrology.
Oh, cool.
And it supposedly informs the past, present, and future. And he says, what awaits the world in the years ahead paints typically grim pictures with natural disasters and blah, blah, blah. He thinks, oh God, and you guys are some of you are going to be so happy and some of you are going to be so upset with this prediction. He thinks Trump's going to extend into a third term because of a major catastrophe. He's going to, he's saying that this major catastrophe, and he says it concerns Taiwan, is going to see Trump extend his presidency into a third term. And it's going to come up right at the time of the next elections. And it's going to be, it corresponds with the advent of a new war. And he just says,
well, that's a powder keg. There's no question that's a powder keg over there. The Chinese, I mean, I think it's more of a question of when than if the Chinese
well, they're
move
saying
on
it's going to
Taiwan.
happen. He's saying it's going to happen right near the elections. And because it's going to be such major chaos in the complete world, he's saying that they can't have an election at that point. Not
I mean,
me.
they had an election in World War II. I mean, I think they should have an election regardless.
Well, there's also going to be a meteor disaster right around the time of the next election in 2028.
I see.
He said a meteor is coming between the Earth and the Moon. It's saying it's coming pretty close to Earth. And if it's that close, it could be catastrophic, especially if it passes over the USA. It would cause fires, earthquakes, tsunamis. It could hit part of Earth. Who knows? He also is going on to say the next U.S. president will not be J.D. Vance. Craig said, there will be a new president to follow. I said that Trumpism will continue after Trump. His family would still have a major influence. J.D. Vance would still have a major influence, but I don't see him becoming the next president. That was a quote. He did not reveal the precise identity. Some people would say, But anyway, but he says their character would be good news. It's going to be it becomes people of good character, people following the spirituality, not necessarily religious, but a spirituality. So it's going to be, he says, people of better character who can solve the problems that the world will face. There's going to be a big UFO shock on the way. That's what he also says. Physical evidence of something that comes from outer space is going to be revealed. And he thinks it's going to be in a European area.
Huh.
Yeah. And he did. He said Trump suggested there's going to be a big release of UFO information. I said when things like this are revealed, which are going to take all of the headlines, it's going to be the front page news. And another war is, and this one though, he said it's going to be related to religion, and he's guessing it's going to involve Iran, Israel, and America. And yeah,
boy,
war,
it's not going to be wars.
Oh, it's horrible. Then he goes on with the natural disasters. Taiwan in 2028 seems to be a big year for him. He said there's going to be a tsunami. It won't be devastating. He said Japan, there's going to be earthquakes, lots of calamity around Earth.
Good Lord.
I hope he's all wrong.
I hope he's wrong.
I really do. I'm going to try to be positive. Everyone put your positive vibes out there and hope he's all wrong.
You know, this today's show's been really heavy, you know.
It's heavy.
I think after this, what I'm going to do is maybe I'll go out and we have a pretty nice day today. Maybe I'll go grab something for lunch and maybe I'll take the car for a wash.
Are you sure you want to do that, Jim?
On second thought, maybe not.
No, I don't think you should do that.
Yeah. So we're doing these little kicker stories at the end. A car wash malfunction trapped a woman inside a car wash for almost an hour.
It's funny, but it's not funny. This could be absolutely terrifying.
Yeah. And we saw this on Inside Edition, and we'll put some links up there. But basically, it was in Pennsylvania. And this woman, Felicia Sullivan, who made a TikTok video that detailed it and showed it, she got stuck in one of these self-serve car washes for, 57 minutes? And she had the stomach flu, which could turn into a crappy situation. But anyway, she was at the Waynesboro Waterworks Car Wash in Waynesboro when the system abruptly shut off and the doors closed while her car was still covered in soap.
Yikes.
And if you watch the video, she was pushing the emergency button. She was getting out. She was doing all the things you're supposed to do.
Trying to open doors.
She was banging on doors and stuff.
Yes, there's nobody around because it's not one of those kinds of car washes. There's no staff. It's just
she ended
like
up having to call the police to get out. And it was.
And she had to wait quite a while for them to come.
I thought she said 57 minutes. This story we're looking at says 45 minutes, but still, that's kind of terrifying.
Somebody else brought up a good point. What about the fumes of exhaust? I would imagine she would have to turn the car off.
Well, yeah, you turn the car off. Yeah, sure. It's like being in a closed garage.
Yeah, I mean, how scary you can't get out. Like, what do you do? And I don't think there were any windows.
What do you do? Yeah. Yeah, no, there was no windows. She was showing it. Now, she said that she wasn't harmed. Her car wasn't harmed. And she said no harm, no foul. And they kind of handshook on it, and the owner apologized to her and gave her a stack of gift cards. Now, in the Inside Edition story, she said, I'm not going back to the enclosed wash. Maybe they've got she said she's going to use the outside wash. Maybe they have an outside wash there, too. But, kudos to her, because I'll tell you why.
Yep.
A lot of people would have sued for like emotional trauma and all this stuff. And,
oh, gosh, yes.
And just like trying to find any excuse to make a buck. And she said, no, I'll take your cards. I'm not going to go in there again, which I can't blame her in terms of an enclosed space like that. That might be kind of traumatic and you don't want to repeat that. But good on them. They got along okay about it and said, things happen,
Well, if she would have sued him, he's just like, this is not a chain. It's like, I think it's a small little business.
Probably
that would have been
mom
done.
And pop. And
he
let's
would have been
face
out.
it. Nobody was hurt.
Malfunctions happen.
And malfunctions happen. Yeah. It doesn't mean that they are, that they did anything wrong or anything. So it's good that they worked. It's nice to see people work things out for a change, except like run into the first lawyer.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I kudos to her. And that had to be scary, and especially if she wasn't feeling well, because that's why she went to the car wash to clean up. She was on her way home from work. But to be trapped in there, I mean, what do you do? I was thinking, thank goodness her cell phone worked. Because I know a lot of times we don't get reception when we go through a car wash. So, I mean, imagine if you don't even get reception. What would you do?
I agree. I'm
like literally thinking about like, how do you solve that problem? Well, how do you get out?
Yeah.
If you have anything in your car that could cut metal, I don't know.
Well, what's good is, I mean, it's stopped, I guess. I mean, it didn't keep going. That would have made it a lot tougher. If it were still going and you'd have to get out or whatever, but it stopped. So that's the good
Yeah,
thing.
can you imagine if the water was going and the soap was going and the wax was going?
Yeah. There you go.
The hot wax.
There you go.
The hot mops.
Yeah. My wife's up on the roof like she knows what's going on. Jerky Boy's another callback to many years ago, many moons ago.
Too many.
Gen X special here. Well, Dar, yet another paranormal report in the can, as it were. Everybody check out our Plus
mascot
Club.
Joined us.
Our mascot. Oh, Teddy. Yes. Hi, Teddy. Teddy looks like he just wants to sleep.
He does, on me all the time.
Yes. So we do recommend, so Teddy can continue to get his puppy chow, although he doesn't eat puppy chow. But
no.
Well, let's not cast aspersions.
Old man chow.
They might want to sponsor the show. No, I'm just kidding.
Old man chow. Oh, I tell you
chow.
who could sponsor the show. That would be great. No.
Anyway,
I'm not going to say it. But.
The point is, check out our Plus Club, because we're not doing as much sponsorship as we used to do. We do those automated ads, but we're not doing the host read anymore. And we need your help to keep this going, to keep us in jobs, and to keep the content coming, keep the shows coming. JimHarold.com/plus, JimHarold.com/plus. There's a ton there. And in fact, we're going to have an Ask Me Anything on March 4th for Plus Club members only. And the way you find out about that is you go to the website, JimHarold.com/.
No.
Oh, yeah. I can't say what it is. That's right.
No, you cannot say what it is.
That's why you have to listen to the Plus Club show. So
thank you.
Behind the scenes, which is coming out.
There'll be a special promo on like behind the scenes, which is coming out this week. And the previous behind the scenes has a promo right in front where Jim and I talk to you about how to access your AMA.
Yes.
We can't give that link, my dear, because if that link gets out, then everybody gets to go. Right. And this is a special benefit for those
for the Plus Club members.
For our members who support us financially.
Correct.
So we Thank you.
Correct. Thank you very much.
So listen to the promos.
Yeah, listen to the promos. And
I'm glad I shut you up.
Yeah.
You keep wanting to do this, too. You almost announced it on Campfire.
It's like, yeah, that kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it?
Because I said, but wait a minute, how would that work then?
And I'm like, it wouldn't. I'm an idiot.
No, you just have too much going on.
I do. Well, we thank you for tuning in this week.
We will talk
to you next time.
I ranted so much.
It's all right. Is Teddy going to join us in a dance?
Yes, Teddy, you want to dance? Teddy's going to dance.
Okay. All right, here we go. Bye-bye and stay spooky.
Bye-bye. He said, let me sleep.